In today's video, I'm going to walk you through Creator Flow, the Premiere Pro plugin you absolutely need in your editing workflow in 2026. If you've never heard of Creator Flow before, it's a plugin that lets you create automatic zoom animations in one click, edit tutorials in one click, and add cinematic motion to your facecam videos without ever touching a keyframe manually. If you're a Premiere Pro editor, this is hands down the best plugin you can install this year, and you'll find the download link in the description below. Creator Flow works on both Windows and Mac OS. Let's jump straight in. Once you've installed Creator Flow, open Premiere Pro and go to Window, then Extensions, then click on Creator Flow. The plugin panel will open right inside Premiere. The whole panel is fully responsive. You can resize it however you want. You can dock it anywhere in your workspace. I'm going to dock mine on the right side here so it stays out of my way. Now, before we touch any feature, let me give you the big picture of how the plugin is organized. The panel is split into three main sections. The top section holds all the action buttons, the ones that do the heavy lifting for you. You have the motion blur button, which adds real motion blur to your zooms. You have the smart zoom button, which is the one that does the entire edit for you automatically. And right next to it, there's a drop down where you can choose between four modes: zoom plus pan, pan only, zoom only, and auto zoom out. You also have the SFX button, which adds automatic sound design to your clips. There's the overlay button, which wraps your clip in a device mockup like Windows, Mac, iPhone, and more. There's a rule of thirds button, a live render toggle, and an animate to playhead toggle. Below the buttons, you have the preview section in the middle where your clip plays back in real time. And at the bottom, you have the zoom control and magnify control section where you set the zoom percentage, the animation duration, and the fine parameters for the magnify effect. Now let me show you exactly how to use every single one of these features. I'll start by creating a new sequence at 1920 by 1080. Sequence is ready. I already have a facecam clip prepared, so I'll drag it into the timeline. The clip is at 720 pixels, so I'll scale it up to fit the full sequence frame. The first thing you'll notice the moment your clip lands in a timeline is the preview window inside Creator Flow. The clip is already playing back in real time at full quality. This is one of the most important things to know about this plugin. The preview is smoother than Premiere's own program monitor. Sometimes in Premiere, you hit play and certain clips freeze or stutter, especially when you're working in 4K. That never happens inside Creator Flow. The playback updates live, automatically. You never have to refresh anything. And that matters a lot because every action you're about to take, you take from inside this preview window, not from the Premiere timeline. Let me walk you through manual zoom on a facecam clip first. When you're editing a talking head video, you already know the rule. You need to add zoom ins and zoom outs to keep the energy up. Otherwise, the video feels flat and the viewer drops off. Doing this manually in Premiere is painful because you have to add keyframes, set the position, set the scale, set the easing every single time. With Creator Flow, it's a single click. Before you click, look at the zoom control section at the bottom of the panel. The zoom percentage is set to 170 by default, which is honestly too aggressive for most facecam shots. I bring it down to around 140%. That's the sweet spot for a face. Then there's the zoom time, which controls how long the animation takes to happen. For a talking head shot, I set this to 2 seconds. That gives you a slow cinematic push instead of a hard snap. Now I click directly in the preview window, right where I want the zoom to land. For a facecam shot, I always click on the person's hair near the top of the head. Here's why. When you click, the zoom centers on the exact pixel you clicked. If you click on the chin or the cheek, the zoom can drift the face off frame. Clicking near the hair keeps the face nicely framed after the punch-in. I click once, done. The zoom animation is applied to the clip with the keyframes already in place. To zoom back out, I just click the Out button at the top of the panel. The plugin adds the reverse animation, same duration, back to 100%. And here's a really smart detail. The moment I click out, Creative Flow automatically switches the next action to zoom in. So if I click in the preview again, it knows I want to zoom in, not zoom out twice in a row. It thinks ahead for you. You never have to manually pick the right button. The plugin tracks what you just did and sets up the next move. Now, right next to the zoom controls, there's a button called Motion Blur, the blue one. This is where the magic happens for cinematic feel. When you click Motion Blur, Creative Flow adds real motion blur to your zoom animation. And here's a technical detail. It uses Premiere's transform effect, not the native motion settings. That's important because the transform effect has a shutter angle parameter, and Creative Flow sets that shutter angle to 180 degrees during the zoom. That's what gives you the soft, cinematic motion blur that you see in professional YouTube videos. You get that level of polish in a single click without ever opening the effect controls panel manually. You can click anywhere in the preview, not just on a face. Let me show you why that's powerful. Imagine I want to display a YouTube subscribe button on screen, but if I place it next to my face, it covers part of my head and the framing looks bad. What I do instead is click on the side of the frame where I want the button to appear. Creative Flow shifts the zoom so my face stays in frame on one side and there's now empty space on the other side, exactly where I'll drop the subscribe button. The face stays visible, the element fits cleanly, and the framing looks intentional. One more thing about the preview. You'll notice there's a faint rectangle drawn on top of the image. That rectangle is one of the most important visual cues in the entire plugin. Anything inside that rectangle is what will be visible in your final exported frame. Everything outside the rectangle gets cropped out by the zoom. So when you're editing, your job becomes very simple. Keep the subject inside that rectangle. If your subject drifts outside it, click again and the plugin repositions the frame. Next up, the SFX button. This one is going to save you so much time on tutorials and facecam edits. When you click the SFX button, Creative Flow analyzes your clip and adds automatic sound design wherever it makes sense, like little whooshes, transitions, and accents that punch up your motion. I'll click it now. In about 2 seconds, the plugin has dropped multiple sound effects across the timeline, perfectly synced to the zooms and pans. You can't hear them right now because I'm recording, but trust me, they sound clean and professional. It instantly gives your video that polished editing energy. For this demo, I'll delete them, but in real workflows, it's a huge time saver. Now let me show you the overlay feature. I'll select my clip and click overlay. After about 2 seconds, the plugin wraps my clip inside a device frame. Look at that. It feels like I'm now talking inside a window mockup. The zoom in and zoom out animations have been preserved and adjusted, and the whole thing looks like a professional product demo. In the overlay dropdown, you can pick from multiple styles. There's Windows, there's Mac, there's iPhone, and several other presets you can scroll through. Combine this with your manual zooms or with Smart Zoom, and you get a fully styled scene in one click. Quick word about the Animate to Playhead toggle. You see this checkbox in the panel. When it's unchecked, which is the default, the animation ends at your playhead position. So if you place your playhead on a beat and then click in the preview, the zoom builds up before the beat and lands exactly on it. When the checkbox is on, the behavior flips, and the animation starts at the playhead and plays forward from there. This is incredibly useful when you want your zooms to hit a music beat, a punchline, or a cut. You decide whether the move builds into the moment or starts from it. Now that's the first way to use Creative Flow on a face cam shot with full manual control. Let me show you the second workflow, which is using Creative Flow on a screen recording for a tutorial. The concept is identical. You just click where you want the zoom, but I want to walk you through it on a tutorial because the result is even more impressive. I'll delete my facecam clip and drop in a screen recording I prepared earlier. It's a 4K capture, so it's much bigger than my sequence. I scale it down to 50% so it fits cleanly. Let me bump the zoom percentage to 200% this time, because on a screen recording, I want a much tighter zoom to highlight small UI elements. Let me play the clip. I see my cursor moving toward the Windows menu at the top of the screen. The moment my cursor lands on it, I click on the Windows menu inside the preview. Boom, the zoom kicks in, centered exactly on that pixel. Now my viewer can clearly see what I'm pointing at. Notice again that visible rectangle in the preview. Once the zoom is active, the rectangle shows me what will be visible in the final frame. My job from here is to keep the cursor inside that rectangle. The cursor drifts. I click again where the cursor now is. And here's where Creative Flow gets really intelligent. Because it already did a zoom, it knows the next move shouldn't be another zoom. It automatically switches to a pan, slides the frame over to follow the cursor, and keeps everything composed. You don't have to manually click the pan button. The plugin picked it for you. The cursor moves again. I click, another pan. When I'm done, I click out. The plugin zooms back out and then automatically sets the next action to zoom in. The whole workflow is just click, click, click. It's surgical, it's fast, and you don't have to think about which mode you're in. The plugin handles all of that. The same overlay button works on screen recordings too. I select the clip, click overlay, pick the Mac frame this time, and after about 10 seconds, the plugin builds the entire scene around my recording. Beautiful Mac window, perfect framing, zooms preserved. It's that easy. Now, all of this is still manual mode. Click, click, click. But stay with me because what I'm about to show you next is honestly the most powerful feature of the plugin, and it's what I use on 95% of my own tutorials. Quick pro tip before we go further. If you don't want Creative Flow to drop keyframes directly onto your clips, create an adjustment layer above your clips first. Right-click in the timeline, New Item, Adjustment Layer. Now stretch it across all the clips you want to edit. From now on, when you select the adjustment layer and run any Creative Flow action, the plugin will put the keyframes on the adjustment layer instead of on the clips themselves. This is huge for keeping your timeline clean because if you ever need to swap a clip or move things around, your animations don't break. The keyframes live on the adjustment layer above. Trust me on this. This is the professional way to use the plugin. Okay, now let me show you the Smart Zoom feature. This is the one that does the full edit for you automatically. If you're a creator who's a little lazy or just really busy, this is the button you're going to fall in love with. Right now, I'm in Zoom plus Pan mode, the default. There are 3 other modes you can pick from the dropdown. Pan only means Creative Flow won't add any zoom-ins, just lateral pans to follow the cursor. Zoom only means it'll add punch-ins and outs, but no panning. Auto Zoom Out is built specifically for facecam shots, where the plugin automatically punches in and out on the speaker. Instead of clicking on every zoom and every pan manually, you select your clip or your adjustment layer and you click Smart Zoom. That's it. The plugin analyzes the entire clip, tracks the cursor position frame by frame, detects the moments where the cursor pauses or where the viewer needs to focus, and drops every single zoom, pan, and keyframe automatically. Here's what to expect on speed. A clip of about 6 minutes takes around 35 seconds to analyze on my machine. A clip of about 12 minutes takes around a minute, so this is extremely fast. While it's working, the plugin is figuring out the entire edit for you, frame by frame in the background. And honestly, I'll be transparent with you. When I compare the result of Smart Zoom to what I do manually, Smart Zoom is better. It uses an algorithm that knows exactly when to punch in, when to pan, and how to keep the cursor inside the frame at all times. It chooses cleaner timing than I do. It even sets the shutter angle on the motion blur for you automatically. The analysis is done. Look at the timeline. Creator Flow has dropped every keyframe automatically on the adjustment layer, not on the clips. Your clips stay clean. The keyframes live above them, perfectly placed. Let me hit play so you can see the result. There's the motion blur. There's the zoom in on the menu. There's a pan to follow the cursor over to the extension. Another pan. A zoom out for context. Another zoom in to highlight Creator Flow. Every single move is right where it needs to be. It's smoother than what I would do by hand. And remember, this entire edit was made with one click. Once the Smart Zoom edit is done, you can still layer on the other features. Select the adjustment layer, click Overlay, pick the Mac frame, and now you've got a fully styled, fully edited tutorial scene. All from a couple of clicks. Now, I want to show you one more incredibly useful feature called Magnify Control or Local Focus. Sometimes you don't want to zoom the entire frame on one spot. You want to highlight a small area of the screen while keeping the rest of the frame visible but de-emphasized, like a spotlight effect on a tutorial. For example, imagine I have my screen recording playing and I want to highlight just one tiny area, like a single button or a single menu, without losing the rest of the context. Here's how I do it. I select my clip, click the local focus button, and now I can draw a rectangle in the preview window around the exact area I want to highlight. I drag a rectangle around the area, click play, and the plugin zooms into just that region. The rest of the frame stays visible, but with a soft blur and a slight opacity drop. The viewer's eye is guided straight to the spotlight area. It looks incredibly professional, and again, it's one click of setup. You can do this for any area, any size, any duration. It's surgical and beautiful. Last thing I want to mention, see this live render toggle in the panel? Keep it on, always. When live render is on, the preview window plays at full quality in real time with no lag. When it's off, the preview drops in quality and starts stuttering. There's no good reason to ever turn it off, so leave it on by default. That's pretty much the full tour. You now know everything you need to start using Creator Flow on your own videos. If you've made it this far, thanks for sticking with me. The download link for Creator Flow is in the description below. Right now, there's a special discount running. The plugin is over 34% off, and honestly, I don't know how long that promotion is going to last. So if you've been thinking about getting it, this is the moment. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel for more Premiere Pro plugin tutorials. And in the comments, tell me which feature you'd love to see added to Creator Flow next, because there are constant updates and your feedback shapes what gets built. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.